Sometimes motor sailing in like perfectly flat water, that's pretty awesome. Sometimes I can't believe this is my life. Do I only have one chance to get in, or can we get in and come out and try it again?
I think it's more or less one chance. What's the depth here?
0.9, 1.4.
Hard to starboard. High five. Woo! Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Previously on Project Atticus.
After spending 3 years refitting our fixer-upper sailboat, we left the United States with only $2,000 and the goal of working while we cruised. We made it as far as Isla Mujeres, Mexico, before we ran out of money and had to find work. For the next year, we did freelance boat repair jobs until we saved up enough money to cast the lines and sail south to explore the Western Caribbean.
For the past 2 weeks, we've been struggling to make our way east along the south coast of Cuba, and we finally made it to our destination, Cayo Campos, the most beautiful island in southwest Cuba.
Going over to Wavelength. Hello.
How we doing? So this is the,
Oh my God.
that's the big one. That's Larry. That's the guy that I got in the face earlier.
You're just a moonlighting in here.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's like,
Welcome.
We had now been in Cayo Campos for over a week, having an awesome time, spearfishing, hanging out with friends, and exploring the island. But our tourist visas were about to expire, so it was time for us to get going. Morning. So I'm listening to Chris Parker this morning. Been getting in a habit of listening to him every morning because we're gonna probably try and get a move on here in the next day or two. And so I'm gonna listen and see if we've got a decent weather window to sail east.
And then Monday morning is probably the southeast at 14 to 18.
Well, it sounds like there's a cold front that's passing down the Gulf of Mexico, but it's stalling, and they don't think it's gonna make it into the Caribbean. So we're kind of getting this prefrontal, like southerly winds over the next couple days, and pretty light too. So yeah, I'm thinking either leave today or tomorrow. Our next destination is an island called Cayo Largo. It lies about 60 nautical miles from where we are now. Now we could make that in one day, but because we have such light winds forecasted for the next couple days, we decided that we really wanted to check out a remote and exposed reef between here and Cayo Largo called Cabezo de la Estopa. Now this reef is so exposed that we can't anchor there overnight. So what we plan to do is spend the night at anchor in a man-made cut through some mangroves, which is near the reef and is used by high-speed ferries. Now this anchorage doesn't have a lot going for it and is not very popular amongst cruisers, so there isn't very much information on it. But we figure it's worth giving it a shot in order to make it to such a remote reef the next morning before continuing on to Cayo Largo. But before leaving, we need to fill up on water. Hola! ¿Cómo está? Lo siento, mi español es muy malo. ¿Es posible? Tengo poquito agua. ¿Sí? ¿No problema? Ok, muchas gracias. Wow. Y todos los años, hay mucho agua.
Año completo.
Sí, wow. Muy bien.
Nada, ponlo aquí, pon uno aquí.
Oh yeah, that looks great. Man, beautiful morning.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. All right. See you in Cayo Largo.
Yes.
Wavelength took off early this morning. They're gonna try and make it all the way to Cayo Largo in one long day. And I think we're just gonna break it up into two. So we're gonna be getting underway and Heading east.
Bye, Cayo Campos. Miss you. Nice to be leaving, you know? We're getting in this sedentary state, so it'll be fun to keep on trucking on.
Yeah, I feel like we were getting lazier and lazier every single day.
Yeah.
Like it's hard, it's impossible to live that lifestyle and not like just plummet into laziness.
Yeah.
Looks like we're motor sailing today, but it is a freaking lake out here, so I'm not complaining. This is really nice.
Man, sometimes sailing is freaking awesome, but sometimes motor sailing in like perfectly flat water, sometimes that's pretty awesome.
Man, we are just really skirting along the edge of this thing. It's kind of cool. It's really hard to say if we're gonna get any rain or not.
It's just been such a long time since we've had rain. It's hard to not understate just how salty it was getting, you know? And same on me, like I said, once it started raining, we use very little fresh water when we bathe. So like, I think we've been pretty salty for a while now.
We have about, I think 2 hours till we are at our next anchorage. So Jordan's going down below now for an hour just to get a little bit of rest. Water is crystal clear, so I'm just kind of looking at the patch reef go by, hanging out. Right, look at that isinglass, nice and clean. Let's go check out the foredeck. It's been really salty for the last, gosh, like month. So I haven't really been able to do much up here, but wow, that deck feels clean. Ah, yes. Cruising is amazing! Sometimes I can't believe this is my life.
Wow, so it's been a while since we've seen like actual channel markers. That's amazing.
Navigating through a well-marked channel with these massive markers all the way through, it's like, it's just night and day compared to all the like stressful eyeball navigation we've done through reefs in the past couple months.
Okay, we're entering the cut. Man, that is small. I think the trick is gonna be to like drop the anchor relatively in the middle of the channel, and then because there's current, like it'll just push us further down the channel. Like there's no way that we'll end up in the mangroves, you know what I mean? Well, we probably won't end up in the mangroves, you know?
Never say that.
Yeah.
Do I only have one chance to get in, or can we get in and come out and try it again?
I think it's more or less one chance. Yeah.
Great.
So we're going against the current. So you can see there's a lot of stuff moving by us, but we are barely moving forward. So this is definitely where we want to be. What I'm curious to see is where's the current flowing in there. It's not necessarily obvious. I'm going to try and read the water as I get close. I gotta be careful because we're kind of, you know, going in a diagonal. Okay, we're going against the current here. That's good. Okay, what's the depth here?
5'7".
A little to port.
1 to port. Depth is 4.
Hold that.
Holding that. Depth is 3.4.
Okay, a little to starboard.
Going to starboard. Depth is 1.7.
Okay, quite a bit to starboard.
Going to starboard.
Hold that.
Holding.
Gosh, that looks really shallow. What's the depth here?
2.8.
Yeah, I mean, we're still too close to the entrance, so keep going.
At 0.9, 1.4, 0.9, 1.4.
Hard to starboard.
Hard to starboard.
Hold that, hold that.
Holding.
Yeah, this is like a lot deeper here. What's the depth?
2.5.
Okay, starboard.
Starboard.
Getting a little close. See, with this current, whatever we're favoring, we go that way a lot. Hold that. Neutral. Okay, we're just about going backwards. Okay. Well, that stopped us. The current should keep us basically in the middle of the channel. Now, I'm gonna use little shit and we'll row out some stern lines. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
If I start drifting downstream, I'll see you in Cayo Largo. Okay, take up like basically as much as you can do by hand.
Well, I'm helping Jordan on the boat side of things, and all I hear is like the buzzing by of wasps and mosquitoes. So I just took like a bunch of bug spray and just like coated my head with it.
Okay, so we got our primary stern line, and then I've got our secondary stern line here to just keep us from kind of getting close to these mangroves. If it wasn't for, you know, being close to that snorkel spot tomorrow, I wouldn't say that this was worth it in any way. I mean, it was cool to do it for the first time, to like learn a new skill. So for that reason, it was cool. But, you know, getting out in the morning is gonna be really tough. If tomorrow morning the current's flowing that way, that's gonna make things really weird because we're gonna be going fast. We'll see. It is buggy. It is super, I'm like surrounded by like 20 mosquitoes right now. So I'm gonna get down below and call it a day.
Well, that was kind of a crazy night. It was super, super hot, and we couldn't use our wind scoop because we also had to have our mosquito nets up. And then beyond that, there's thousands of these little bugs, little gnats, that just like squeeze their way into the mosquito nets. How'd you sleep, bud?
Yeah, it was so hot last night. I ended up sleeping out here, I think literally because our body heat was heating up the V-berth.
I think you're right.
And then the heat was not circulating.
At 7:30, so we still have to cast the stern lines and not run aground. So let's do it.
I'm suited up for battle. Got my pants on. I got my buff long sleeve shirt. I'm gonna get out there and get us ready to get underway.
Oh, well, sure is beautiful here.
And you can see the hard top has like thousands of dead gnats.
Alright, bud, you ready?
Yeah, I was just putting sunscreen on my finger and there's 4 little dead bugs in it already.
Okay, we did it. Nice one, buddy.
Thank you.
High five. Woo! Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we're back out on open water.
And it feels so good. Now it's off to try and find this elusive offshore reef.
Well, the good news is that getting in that water is gonna feel super refreshing.
We got about a half hour until we gotta start doing some eyeball navigation and approach our anchorage at this reef. But now it's time for breakfast. Kick back, have some food, have some coffee, enjoy the, what'd you call it?
Powerade blue water.
The Powerade blue water. So I can see there's breaking reef way out there. And according to the chart, we're getting pretty close. Okay, so this is sandy bottom. The reef is breaking right over there. So we're pretty darn close to where we're gonna anchor. We're gonna anchor right up in here somewhere. This looks beautiful. Conditions are very, very stable. There's no squalls on the horizon. So let's get going while we've got this luck on our side. Let's go snorkeling. After snorkeling for a while, we started to see some pretty big fish right under Atticus, which is exciting because we could really use some meat. Provisioning in Cuba can be a real challenge, and we haven't been to a grocery store in over a month, so we were stoked to try and fill up the fridge with some fresh fish. Normally, I don't take a shot at a fish unless it's a really good shot. That way, there's no chance of me injuring the fish and it getting away. But unfortunately, as you can see here, that's exactly what happened. Luckily, Desiree was able to keep an eye on the fish, and I was able to come back and grab it. Hi, bud. Fish! We were able to acquire plenty of protein.
Let's see.
Which we needed.
Woo! I'm excited about all this fresh meat. Thanks, bud.
Thank you. As usual, you found most of these guys, especially the big one.
Thank you. While Jordan's flaying up some fish, I'm actually gonna make some lunch. Now we'll have some fresh fish and pasta.
It's about as fresh as you can get. This is it right here.
Yeah. I made a feast in the middle of the day, in the middle of nowhere. I just blacked out.
Yeah, 5 miles from land. Like barely any protection from the sea.
Sun-dried tomato, artichoke pasta, and grilled hogfish.
Wow.
That's so good. It's nice and blackened. I think I nailed it.
Nice one. This is one of those experiences that you only get to do it if you're a cruiser or a Cuban fisherman. You know? Like, I don't think there's any tourists that come out here. It's just so far away from anything. There's just no way. And yet here we are, just anchored. Beautiful, calm day. You know, just kind of... I'm like deliriously tired. Okay, go ahead.
guys, hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our channel by clicking here. And if you're already a huge fan of Project Atticus, consider becoming a patron right there. See you next week.